dollar is in an uptrend, and the structural points are decision-making points that if it breaks below it, it capitulates and then it stops. Some buying comes in. I mean, something like the FOMC, and then it stops and it comes back above the structure. It tells you right here, right on this day, once it penetrates the 103.94, instead of capitulating, that behavior of failing to act as per our expectation, which is capitulating and coming back above that breaking point, is something that is declaring to us all as people, because you see, you identify these points beforehand, and when you identify them, they are decision-making points, so you can have an expectation on how the market behaves below that price point. And if it doesn't behave as your expectation, then the market is telling you in its own silent way that I am not going to go down, like here. This is the 103.94. That is a major structural point. Now below this here, right there, your expectation is capitulation. The trend is down. Everything is looking down. Now for it to come back above the 103.94, which is your big major structure point, this thing is telling you, I'm not going down. I am not continuing into this direction because the 103.94 is a major decision-making point and I'm going the other way. Okay? And that is the kinds of behaviors that you look at these. When we say price behavior, it is a behavior and an action of the traders at or around certain decision-making points, which we identify based upon the price action with no indicators, with no blah blah blah. This is what the market is stopping at. This is where it's trading, and above this point you want to buy, and below this point you want to sell. Okay? So we did the Aussie yen, we did the Aussie dollar, and well, we might as well look at the euro dollar, so at least we might be in the and the euro dollar, like what we said, we are going to be a little bit cautious about it. We are kind of neutral. We do have a buy signal on the dollar index, and we do have a neutral situation with the euro, so it's not going to be really up or high on our list of, but we do have a structural point at the 103.1.30, and as you can see, this was our buying point from last week right there, and it did pay us. It took us from 130 all the way to 131 in one day. This is the plan from last week, was to buy it euro dollar. That's it. You see the buying point from last week was to buy it above. That's the second buy, but this is the 130. So right now it came above it, the 130. This was our selling point from last week. But anyway, right now you can see the move, the capitulation that, oh, I've been talking since 6 o'clock in the morning, so forgive me. I've been doing the course. So anyway, right here, this is a structural point from there. And we are now at 129.82, so we will only buy it above the 130.87. So for the euro dollar, we will buy it above the 130.87. That is our long point. It is our structural long point, and of course it will become our stop. Okay, that's buying that sucker. Shorting it now, if you look at the intraday chart, you can see that this thing has been oscillating now on both sides of going nowhere. for the last couple of days. So we will only short it when it takes out this low, which is the 129.19. At least we know that this is no longer a gift, because as we did as I explained to you in the index here, this could be a gift. Okay, so we're not going to push the short side unless I get a signal that says I'm no longer a gift. I'm going to capitulate. I'm going to go down to the 128.53. So here, this is the spot cash, and that's it. So I'm going to take it short when it says the same thing like what it said on the index. If it trades below the low of the day, then I'm going to take it short. If it proves to me that I'm not a gift. If it gets above the 130, then the gift is to the upside. So on the short, I'm going to go short below the 129.19. I'm going to go short below the 129.19. And our structure point is the 128, which we had from last week, the 128.73. It's going to stay there. It's not going to change. And if I'm going to go short below 129.19, where will I put my stop? I have nowhere to put the stop. There is nothing but air over here. This is going to be a big stop. So you have, again, that's why I told you that the euro dollar should not be on the top of our list. That's why this is where you don't have any decisions. I mean, I think we can take it above this minor significant point here just to limit. So you see this significant point there, which is 65. So we're having actually a 50 pip stop on that position. And this is why, because it's a mediocre trade. A mediocre trade will give you a large stop because it's a mediocre trade. Okay, so we're buying it above the 130.87, which is our structure long point, and that will be our long stop, and we're going to go short below 129.19. There is a structure point at 128.73, and our stop will be at 129.65. That is the euro dollar. Let me save that.